No, you can come in. Anyone can come in.
All the way down.
Yeah, it's fine. As long as you've got something that just changes. So, so the name of the presentation was titled Mazanendaba. So I'm going to explain Mazanendaba to you. No, not to explain. Mazanendaba, the origin of storytelling and healing. Right? That was the title of the book. Right? So we will pretend these are our shells. These are seashells. So can you envision this as a seashell right now? Seat is a seashell. Yeah, it's a seashell, right? Because we don't have a seashell. So we're gonna sit.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, just yeah. No, a chair, please don't chair, don't level up.
My legs are sore.
It's an age problem. Please accept me.
It's fine.
Okay. Yeah, that's my name, Magogo.
Yeah. Ayang ke le puleng moqoqo o totiwang ke maqheko a qwaqa a qabola kwasuka-sukela hlala ngantsomi a long time ago, there was a village. In that village, there was Mazanendaba. Mazanendaba was a woman who had beautiful children. And her husband, Uzenzele, was an artist. Mazanendaba is a Nguni name that means the one who came with the news. Mazanendaba, she used to stay with her children. And then Mazanendaba will teach her children how to clean the house, how to go fetch water, how to go fetch fire. Uzenzele will document everything that was happening in the village by carving everything that happened in the village. Carved and carved and carved. They lived happy until one day Mazanendaba felt there was something missing inside her. The story was missing inside her. Mazanendaba went into other women in religion to ask, hey, Bafazi, do you have stories? Everyone in the village said, no, we don't have stories. Mazanendaba then thought about this thing. If I don't know stories, that means my children will never know stories. Mazanendaba was very worried about this. He's like, human beings don't know stories. And then he went straight to the bush with Mazanendaba, where he met the rabbit. The rabbit was there. Mazanendaba said, hey, rabbit, I want stories. I want stories. Rabbit is like, I know stories, but I'm not going to tell you when Mazanendaba. But the rabbit was like, then Mazanendaba decided that she was going to go back. She couldn't sleep. She was thinking, where do I get Zindaba? Mazanendaba woke up the next morning, prepared food, and went straight to the bushes. When she arrived at the bushes, she found the gorilla. Gorilla. I want news. I want stories. The gorilla said, how? You humans, you think you're smart, but you don't have stories. How? Mazanendaba went back home. He sat and tell uzenzele ngoba I don't have izindaba. Mazanendaba slept and woke up the next morning. She continued on the journey. On her journey, she went straight into the ocean. Just in front of the ocean, she met a dolphin. And said, Dolphin, hi, Dolphin, I want izindaba. I want stories to tell to my children. We are lacking something in our soul because there's no stories to be told. Mazanendaba, the dolphin said to Mazanendaba, no, Mazanendaba, I don't know any stories, but I know deep down, 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 down in the ocean, I heard this, the minute, the queen of the ocean, she has indaba. Mazanendaba was like, oh, dolphin, take me there, please take me there. Oh, dolphin said, let's go. And then on top of the dolphin, Mazanendaba walked there, and then they went inside deep, 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 deep down in the blue oceans. At the tip, at the end of the ocean, Mazanendaba was sitting there, found the mermaid sitting there, the queen of the ocean. Mazanendaba greeted the queen of the ocean and said, hi, boy, the queen of the ocean. I'm hungry, I'm empty inside. I want stories to tell to my children, to my village, everyone else. The queen of the ocean said, you know, Mazanendaba, we've got many stories here. There are stories everywhere about everything, about healing, about teaching, about thinking, about everything. But we also lack something. We are lacking the vision of how the outside world will look. Mazanendaba, okay. If you can give me an image that will show me how the outside world will look, I will give you. Hey, Mazanendaba went back in the back of that dolphin, and then he went out of the ocean, and then she went back, and she thought, how can I capture the world? How can I capture the world? How can I capture the world? Mazanendaba, finally, a plan came through. Hi, man, Uzenzele was always carving stories about pictures and images about the outside world. Mazanendaba quickly ran to Uzenzele. They said, Zenzele, I found somebody who can give me stories. Please carve me how the whole day. And then Mazanendaba, and then Uzenzele took on a big bush tree, and then he started carving. He carved the people, he carved the cow, he carved the tree, he carved the mountains, he carved everything that is in the world. Mazanendaba, then she was excited. She took the big image, and then she went straight to Dolphin. Dolphin, I've got an image. And then on the back of Dolphin, they went deep, 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 deep down in the blue seas, where they met the queen of the ocean. When they met the queen of the ocean, and then Mazanendaba presented to the queen of the ocean how the world looks. The queen of the ocean was like, hi, Bo, this is how the world look. Okay. And then the queen of the ocean took out a shell. And then he said, Mazanendaba, here is a shell for you. Anytime you need to hear stories, listen to this shell. Anytime you want stories of teaching, of everything, just listen to this shell. This shell will always tell you izindaba. And that's how izindaba and stories of healing began. So now I want everyone to take their shell and listen to the shell. Please listen to the open end. So if you hear and notice, you hear the sounds of the ocean. Do you hear the sounds of the ocean? So now, as you're listening to the shows, the waves and the sounds of the oceans. I want you to think about what we've been engaging on about iziphi izindaba esingazibonanga. What news, stories are we carrying from here right into the bigger space, into the bigger ocean? Before we have indaba yethu, ithini indaba yakho? What is your individual story of who that comes from the show? So anyone who feels to share, share. Okay, cool. Any reflections about what stories came through as you listen to this? What is your story you had from the show?
So it was so captivating that the only story I know was the ocean. I was really listening to your voice, and I think it is so powerful storytelling. The connection, like it is awesome. So for me, it was mesmerizing, and for me, all I could think was how one can use this in your own work, but you also need to really be in the space and in the time and to captivate the audience there. So what goes with that for me is we really, in order for you to get to that stage, you need to invest in the work, right? And only when we invested in the work, we can engage our audience. That's my story.
Like Mazanendaba would say, because she had to be invested in going up and forth, back and forth, back and forth, for her to reach the story she was going to tell. There's something about silence and sound and nature that invites the human connection to issues that you want or you're passionate about. I think I'm very much connected to the sea, to a calm weather. I am a sunny person, so my moods depends on how the sky looks like. I also dress accordingly to that. So I mean, when I listen to that sound, I felt like I'm listening to the waves. And there's something about waves, I don't know, when you walk on your own to the beach and looking at the waves, there's something about that you feel like you're giving and you're getting at the same time. So this is about the story. The story you tell, it's like you're giving, but at the same time, you're receiving something back, because how people are literally listening to me now is what validates what I'm saying. So stories are literally a bounce back. Because if I share something and I see the eyes, I see the interaction. Interaction is not to say I hear you, but it's also about this community looking at me, reacting the way they feel, and then it just rubs off like I'm heard, I exist, I matter in this space. So thank you about that. You are really gifted. And I want you to think about what you are saying, and think about what we are trying to present ourselves to the global space, and think about this idea of a wave. I think that imagery of a wave, as much as we are telling a story, listening to the stories, and it rubs off us.
Okay, it was very powerful. I shared the sentiments from Miranda. And I also had to cancel out to saying something to himself, thinking out loud. I'm not going to say what it is.
You don't.
But yeah, I know. But then it took me back, to my, to my own days when I was still 12 and, with the storytelling and all. But now coming to be here now at this point, it's kind of like, the discussion that we're opening. To me, it serves like as a validation for something that has already been born here, you know, within the Tekano platform, through the, you know, the psychosocial support, you know, things support that we can get from Tekano, where some of us have actually, you know, been from that process, that painful process, you know, decided to come together and collect, although the process itself is still very much, you know, in infancy stages, but it does serve as a validation in terms of there is a space for that, and this is much needed. And it's a space and a platform where we think, or we would like to see all women, you know, and especially like, you know, women, since it's, you know, it's an idea that has been born here from Tekano, it would be lovely to see each and every, you know, or any person who identifies as a woman, let me even put it that way, you know, to come together and for us, you know, to tell our